Hello, Dosto, and welcome to today's Geography Masterclass. Let's just dive right in. If you're prepping for UPSC, state PSCs, or honestly any competitive exam, you know Indian geography is literally a make or break subject. Today, we're going to crack one of the most high yield topics out there, India's coastal plains. And listen, ratta bilkul nahi marna hai. No rote memorization here. We're going to master the map in one go using visual tricks and structured concepts so it permanently locks into your brain. Pura focus screen par rakhna, let's get started.
Quick look at our game plan for today. First, an introduction to coastal plains. Second, formation and key features. Third, the eastern coastal plains. Fourth, the western coastal plains. Fifth, a quick-fire eastern versus western comparison. And finally, number 6, a high-retention homework check with 5 practice questions. Let's go. All right, starting right up with Section 1, Introduction to Coastal Plains. Let's set the geographical stage here. Now look at this massive number on screen, 6,100. Direct exam question alert, guys. The Indian mainland coastline stretches for a massive 6,100 kilometers. Now, if you add in the islands, Lakshadweep and Andaman and Nicobar, it's way longer. But the mainland alone is 6,100 kilometers, spanning across 13 states and union territories. Just imagine the incredible diversity along that massive stretch.
Dhyan se dekho. The coastal plains run along both sides of the Indian peninsula. On your right, the eastern coastal plains run parallel to the Bay of Bengal. On your left, the western coastal plains run parallel to the Arabian Sea. They literally wrap right around the southern half of our country, framing it perfectly between the ocean and the mountains. Moving on to Section 2, Formation and Key Features. To truly understand what we're looking at today, हमें थोड़ा history में जाना पड़ेगा, exactly 140 million years back in time, to be precise.
कहानी शुरू होती है यहाँ से. Step 1. The Indian subcontinent wasn't always where it is today, right? It was originally part of a massive supercontinent called Gondwanaland. Step 2. During the Cretaceous period, this supercontinent fractured and split apart. By the way, Gondwanaland and Cretaceous period are major exam keywords, so note them down. Step 3. Because of this tectonic migration, the Indian landmass drifted, eventually forming the Arabian Sea and the Bay of Bengal on its sides. This specific Cretaceous fracture is exactly why India has such a regular, relatively straight coastline today. Concept ekdam clear? Let's move forward.
So, physically, what is a coastal plain? Think of it like a giant geographical sandwich. These plains are flat, low-lying tracts of land sandwiched perfectly between the long mountain ranges, like the western and eastern Ghats, and the massive oceanic water bodies. As you travel from the sea towards the highlands, the land gradually rises up, forming a sequence of flat land terraces separated by small hills, usually ranging from 100 to 300 meters high. All right, jumping into Section 3, let's focus purely on the eastern coastal plains. Get your notebooks ready because I'm going to give you a really handy trick to memorize these divisions. Notice how broad and level the eastern side is? It stretches all the way from West Bengal in the north right down to Kanyakumari in the south. Unlike the west, these plains are wide, averaging about 120 kilometers in width. Take a mental screenshot of how thick this band is as it runs down that eastern boundary.
Now, how do we remember the sequence from north to south without getting confused in the exam hall? Just remember the mnemonic UAC. U stands for the Utkal coast at the top, mostly covering Odisha and famously home to the massive Chilka Lake. A is for the Andhra coast, right in the middle, defined by the super-rich Krishna and Godavari river basins. And C is the Coromandel coast down south in Tamil Nadu, known for the vast Kaveri delta. Just remember UAC and your north to south alignment is perfectly sorted.
And hey, speaking of that Coromandel coast, the Kaveri River Delta located down there has earned a very famous title, the Granary of South India. Why? Well, because this region gets a massive amount of rainfall during the winter from the northeast monsoon, making the land incredibly fertile and absolutely perfect for large-scale agriculture. Ye ek direct PY2, yani previous year question ban sakta hai, so definitely mark this as a high-yield fact. One more absolutely crucial term you must know for UPSC, the Northern Circars. This is the specific regional name given to the stretch of the eastern plain located right between the Mahanadi and the Krishna rivers. Regional names and their exact boundaries are highly tested, so keep Northern Circars locked in your vocabulary and remember its borders. Okay, let's cross over to the other side of the country, Section 4, the Western Coastal Plains. This side is dynamic, it's a lot narrower, and it is geographically packed with stunning features. Shifting our focus, notice how much thinner this plain is compared to the east. It's a very narrow strip, ranging from just 10 to 80 kilometers wide, stretching all the way from the Rann of Kutch and Gujarat right down to Kerala.
Chalo, let's walk down the western staircase from north to south. We start at the top step with Kutch and Kathiawar in Gujarat, known for those salt-soaked plains and Deccan lava rocks. Moving down a step, we hit the Gujarat plain, formed by the Narmada and Tapi rivers. Next step down is the Konkan plain, running from Daman to Goa, famous for the Mumbai coast, of course. Below that is the Karnataka plain, from Goa down to Mangalore. And finally, reaching the bottom step, we have the Kerala or Malabar plain, world famous for its beautiful lagoons and backwaters.
Here's a fascinating geography fact for you. 271 meters. That is the stunning vertical drop of the Gursapa or Jog Falls. As streams originate up in the Western Ghats and rush down those steep hillsides towards the coast, they create incredible waterfalls. Jog Falls is formed by the Sharavati River right there in the Karnataka coastal plain. To quickly summarize the whole vibe of the Western Plains, it's just incredibly diverse. Because the rivers here flow fast and the strip is narrow, you don't really get massive deltas here. Instead, you get estuaries, steep cliffs, mudflats, and further south along that Malabar coast, those gorgeous backwaters and lagoons that make Kerala such a major tourism hub. Plus, it's home to highly strategic oil-rich areas near Mumbai.
All right, we've covered both sides. Now, for Section 5, let's bring it all together. The Eastern vs. Western comparison. Synthesis is exactly how you clear competitive exams, so let's contrast them directly side by side.
Take a mental screenshot of this comparison table right now. Feature number 1, width. The Eastern Plains are broader, averaging 120 kilometers, while the Western Plains are much narrower, just 10 to 80 kilometers. Feature 2, coastal formations. Because the East is broad and flat, it forms massive, fertile deltas. The West, being steep and narrow, forms estuaries and lagoons. Feature 3, the rivers. The East is dominated by the Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, and Kaveri. The West features the Narmada, Tapi, and Sharavati. Ekdam clear? Perfect.
All right, Dostone, it is time for the final challenge. Section 6, homework. It's time to test if you've truly locked this masterclass into your memory.
Here are your 5 practice questions. Number 1, what is the exact length of the Indian mainland coastline? Number 2, which massive supercontinent split apart to form our coasts? Number 3, which specific river delta is called the Granary of South India? Number 4, the 271-meter Jog Falls is located on which specific coastal plain? And number 5, what is the north to south sequence of the Eastern Plains? Remember our mnemonic trick? Fut comment your answers below to lock in your revision. If you can answer these, your basic map mastery is complete. But before we wrap up this session, soch ke dekhiye, what would India's economy and climate look like today if these strategic coastal plains simply didn't exist? Drop your theories in the comments. Keep studying smart, and I'll see you in the next explainer.